All right, the first video I want to show you here, folks, and again, I hope you're on the webinar because it's going to make a lot more sense to you tonight if you are. Always try to be in front of your computer when we're doing webinars because when I design these, I design them with the intent that everyone is going to be on the webinar. Okay, we've got some background noise, so I made sure that I muted the audience, folks. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and play this video. And if you're on the webinar, you can see it says, what is he doing wrong? And I want you to think about this as you listen to this gentleman on the telephone making a call to a business. And I want to see if you can figure out some of the things that he's doing wrong.
This is Gene.
Hi, Gene. It's Steve from Synthesource Software. How are you? We're the worldwide leader.
Fine.
Good. Love to describe our new platform and get you onboarded. You know, it's a great opportunity.
Okay, I got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's a drag and drop data system. Is it okay if I go 35? No, just playing it.
All right. It doesn't sound like anything that I would understand or know about or care about.
No, I think you'll actually be caring about it quite a bit. Maybe too much at some points. I've felt in my life. If you ask my wife.
A, we don't have time to meet, really, outside salespeople. And B, I don't even know where you're located, but...
Well, how about C, I know where you're located, and this takes so little time, but, hey, little time is still time at all, right? So I know that you have less time on...
Okay. Why don't I get back to you? You can leave me your number.
Perfect. Okay. It's 212...
And you heard the click. And I really do not blame the gentleman on the other end of the phone for hanging up. This guy did so many wrong things right from the very beginning that he was making himself put in a position that no one would do business with this gentleman. Just absolutely. Now, some of the things that we're going to cover tonight may help you understand what he did wrong if you didn't catch some of the things. Number one, he asked a question, didn't wait for the answer. And that threw him off right from the very beginning. Then a couple of times he got cute and argumentative, and that is never going to win you a customer. So if you've seen some things there, if you'd like to write them down and send them in an email to us, you can do that by sending it to coastal@coanetwork.com, coastal@coanetwork.com. The person that found the most things that was wrong in that conversation, I've got a little prize for him. So if you'd like to go ahead and send that in, we'll be glad to look at all those that come in, and we'll announce the winner on next week's call. So let's move on from here. Now, if you've never seen The Pursuit of Happiness, you need to watch just this 1 minute and 47-second clip. Now, as you're watching this, I want you to take some observations about what he's doing, why he's doing it. Believe it or not, in this movie, it's a great lesson on sales. I actually found 12 things that was outstanding about this in just 1 minute and 47 seconds. See what you can find. Again, write them down, and we'll have you submit them.
Whoever brought in the most money after 6 months was usually hired.
Yes, hello, Chris Gardner calling from Mr. Walter Hahn.
We were all working our way up call sheets to sign clients. From the bottom to the top.
Yes, sir.
From the doorman to the CEO.
Hey.
They stayed till 7, but I had Christopher. I had to do 6 hours, with they doing 9.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Gardner. I'm calling from Dean Witter.
In order not to waste any time, I wasn't hanging up the phone in between calls.
Okay, thank you very much.
realized that by not hanging up the phone, I gained another 8 minutes a day.
Why, good morning to you. My name is Chris Gardner. I'm calling from Dean Witter.
I also wasn't drinking water, so I didn't waste any time in the bathroom.
Yes, I'd love to have the opportunity. Okay, no problem at all, sir. Thank you very much.
But even doing all this, after 2 months, I still didn't have time to work my way up a sheet.
Walter Ribbon's office.
Yes, hello. My name is Chris Gardner. I'm calling from Mr. Walter Ribbon.
Concerning?
Yes, ma'am. I'm calling from Dean Witter.
Just a moment.
Hello?
Mr. Ribbon. Well, hello, sir. My name's Chris Gardner. I'm calling from Dean Witter.
Yeah, Chris.
Yes, Mr. Ribbon. I would love to have the opportunity to sit with you to discuss some of our products, and I'm certain that I could be of some assistance to you.
Can you be here in 20 minutes?
20 minutes. Absolutely.
Just had someone cancel. Come now. I can give you a few minutes before the 49ers. Monday Night Football, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, I hope you was paying attention to that because there were some great lessons there to be learned. What did you get from the video? I want you to think about that. I want you to write a few things down. And I'm going to share with you what I got from the video, okay? Maybe you picked up some things that I didn't. So if you actually do find some things that I didn't, please send them in. Coastal@coanetwork.com. Number one, the thing that impressed me, he had a goal. His goal was the one who brought in the most business in 6 months always seemed to get hired. So he had a goal to be that person. He had a time frame. He knew he only had 6 hours because he had to take care of his son. That left 3 hours every day that he was behind everyone else, but he knew that up front. He had a list. He was calling everybody on the list. He was working his list from the bottom to the top, covering all of his list, at least initially. He had a script. How important have we always said a script is? He didn't hang up the phone to save time. Got him an extra 8 minutes a day. 8 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, folks, but if that 8 minutes got 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 more calls in, and one of those said yes, then that was a pretty important 8 minutes. He didn't want to drink water, so he didn't have to go to the bathroom. He was thinking of all the angles. He is committed to his goal. A lot of times, I think we forget about our goals and how committed we should be when we're on the phone. If you noticed, when he was dialing, he was smiling. How many times have we talked about that? And some of this training tonight, folks, will go with business to business. It'll also go for any way you want to do the coastal business. Because, as we've talked about many, many times, your attitude on the phone, your client's going to read. And even when he was rejected, you seen he was still smiling. He evaluated his situation. He knew he had 6 months. That's important, folks. You always have to be evaluating where you're at. You need to be a test pilot. You need to push it to the limit. But at each and every turn, you need to know what's going on and evaluate. Did that work? Was it right? What did I do wrong? What could I do better? If you're just starting the business, folks, you should do that after every call. He broke away from the mold and moved to the top of his list. He got away from that chicken list at the bottom. As you noticed, it moved up the corporate ladder all the way from the janitor to the top. Gee, I wonder why they did that. I wonder why they had him start at the bottom. Practice, practice, practice. So that by the time they got to the top of the list, they had all the butterflies out. There is a big, big hint there, folks. Please understand what you just saw there. He was pretty shocked when he actually got the appointment because he'd been rejected so many times. Don't find yourself in that position. Be prepared for a yes. Believe you're going to get a yes. Once he got the appointment, what was the first thing he did? He looked at his watch to make sure he could be there in the 20 minutes that was allotted. Now, most of you are thinking right now, wow, Mike, you're a freak. You took a good movie and turned it into a teaching lesson. Well, that's what I do, folks. There was some great content there to be able to be used. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. Now, I want you to watch this next video. I don't endorse this company. I have no affiliation with them in any way, shape, or form. This is a clip that I had watched. It had a lot of good information in it, so I chose to use it tonight to be able to enhance your business-to-business operation. Now, this is deviating from the common and the norm. So take from it what you will. Use a grocery shopping method. In other words, when you go to the grocery store, you don't buy everything on the shelves. You just take what you need. And that's what I want you to do in the course of all my trainings. So go ahead and watch this. It's a little over 9 minutes long. Please take notes. This is really good stuff.
Hello, and thanks for listening to this presentation, which is part of the Quick Takes for Sales Professionals series. Today's topic, cold calling, how to nail the first 20 seconds and engage your prospect. Cold calling to fill your sales funnel with new prospects is not an optional skill for an ambitious salesperson. If you don't do it, or do it ineffectively, you won't hit your numbers next quarter, or the quarter after that. And yet, most salespeople resist it. Cold call reluctance is no mystery. People don't like to get rejected, and that's how it feels when you call somebody out of the blue and they don't want what you're selling. This quick take will help, 1, beginners who go about cold calling all wrong and get hammered day in and day out. 2, capable sellers who do some things right but still often feel rejected. And 3, even seasoned vets who have to really kick themselves to do cold calling regularly. You will learn the number one mistake that triggers a prospect's flight response, guarantees rejection, and fuels cold call reluctance. Number 2, why cold calling is not a numbers game. 3, the 3 parts of a rock-solid cold calling script. And yes, you absolutely need one. And finally, number 4, why the best salespeople rarely feel the sting of rejection even on the coldest of cold calls. Let's start with the number 1 mistake. The worst thing you can possibly do during the first 20 seconds of a cold call is talk about your products and your company. When you do that, you're making the call about me. How would you feel if you met a stranger at a party and his first 20 seconds with you sounded like this? Hi, I'm Larry. I come from an old money family on Long Island. After graduating summa cum laude from Harvard, I worked 10 years at Goldman Sachs and now run my own hedge fund. You'd be thinking, how fast can I get away from this guy? Why do people like this trigger your flight response? Because you, like everyone else, are hardwired to seek out people who are interested in you and your well-being. Larry has no interest in you. In fact, your subconscious perceives him as poised to suck the life out of you. But isn't that similar to what salespeople do when they call prospects and say, "Hi, I'm Joe from Mega Widget Company. We're the premium global producer of widgets. We're known for our outstanding service and dedicated technical support. I'd like to meet with you and tell you about all the products and services that make us the market leader." The psychological reaction is identical to the one we had with Larry. What prospect wouldn't be thinking, how fast can I get this guy off the phone? Amateurs do this all the time because they simply don't know any better. But even experienced sellers get lazy and make cold calls that are too much about me. The slightest hint of me talk can trigger a flight mechanism. Fact is, impersonating Long Island Larry is the easy way to go. You're an expert on your company, its products, and the benefits you deliver. You could recite a cold call script about me in your sleep. If you make enough me calls, eventually you'll find a real prospect. Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn from time to time. But the cost of dialing for dollars is huge. Rejection takes its toll. Eventually, it fuels call reluctance. You cut back on the calls. Your funnel dries up. You miss your numbers. There's a better way, and it starts with a simple maxim. Cold calling is not just a numbers game. Quality matters. What's that mean? It means from now on, don't ever make a cold call to someone you know nothing about. Do your homework before every call. That way you never sound like you're dialing for dollars or cold calling an anonymous list. How do you find out about people? Successful salespeople know the awesome power of tools like prospects' websites, internet searches, and databases like Hoover's. Look for press releases about new products, acquisitions, new financing, or anything that will indicate company benchmarks, goals, or how resources are being deployed. Once you've done your research, now what? What do you say in those first 20 seconds that will prevent the flight response and get the prospect to talk to you? You talk about them. More specifically, you make it clear that you're interested in their well-being. You want to help. First, a word about scripts. Do you really need one? Yes. Engaging a prospect in 20 seconds, disarming their flight mechanism, is extremely difficult. That's why so few salespeople can do it. You need to spend a lot of time and thought preparing a tight script. Then you need to practice it so it doesn't sound in the least bit scripted. Here's an outline of the script. It addresses the three things the prospect must know before he'll talk to you. 1, who are you? 2, why are you calling? 3, what's in it for me? Number 1 is easy. Hi, I'm Jane Smith from FleetSoft. People need to know who they're talking to, but keep it short and sweet. Number 2 is trickier. You say, I'm calling because I want to sell you software that monitors your fleet of trucks? That's the real reason you're calling, right? Yes, but if you say that, your call is over. How about this? I'm calling because we have a new transportation software product that allows you to track your fleet capacity better than anything on the market. I'd love to show it to you. A little better, but tracking fleet capacity is a feature, not a benefit. And the prospect will translate, I'd love to show it to you, as I want to sell you, and it'll trigger his flight mechanism. The problem is that the seller is still ignoring the third element of the successful cold call. What's in it for me? How about this? Hi, I'm Jane Smith from FleetSoft. I'm calling because we've developed a new transportation software product that allows companies to increase their average load capacity by as much as 40%. It's a quantum leap technology. Is that something you'd be interested in? Significantly better. It says why Jane is calling and promises an attractive benefit that any fleet operator would want. But the prospect couldn't care less about quantum leap technology, which sounds like hype. Finally, the closed-ended yes-no question is dangerous. There's a good chance the prospect will just say no, because he feels he's being sold. So, let's get it right. Here's an effective 20-second opening. Hi, I'm Jane Smith from FleetSoft. I'm calling because we've recently helped a number of transportation companies increase their average load capacity by as much as 40%. I know that at your company and others, there's pressure on margins these days. Can I ask you a few questions to see if there's any chance we could help your company as well? Why does this work? First, notice there's no mention of the product at all. Jane mentions the benefit, reinforcing her credibility by saying she's helped other companies boost their load capacity. Since she researched the prospect in advance, Jane can state with confidence that the prospect's company's profits are off this year, and she knows that anything close to a 40% capacity increase would be like manna from heaven. Then she requests permission to ask a few questions, which will be laser focused on the prospect's current capacity benchmarks, its performance goals, and how it intends to deploy resources to achieve those goals. Jane will be looking for problems that her software might be able to solve. Stress that word, might. Jane said the purpose of her questions was to see if there's any chance she could help. The humility and lack of presumption embedded in that phrase disarms the prospect's flight mechanism. This salesperson isn't trying to sell me. She's just trying to figure out if we have anything to talk about. If we don't, she'll just go away. I'll give her a few minutes. No matter what business you're in, you can emulate this model, which will instantly separate you from the dialing for dollars crowd, and it will lead to high-quality, high-conversion cold calls. That means you'll get rejected far less often. Cold calling will no longer be the onerous task it used to be, and your sales funnel will be fuller than your competitors. Thanks for listening.
All right, folks. I realized that was not slated towards Coastal or B2B sales for Coastal, but I believe there was a lot of good, pertinent information in there that you can take and mold it to your Coastal presentation. This call is being recorded. I know we went through that fast, but we will have it up for you within the next couple of days so that you'll be able to listen to it again. You can go ahead and look on the info site, as always, and we'll make mention of it there. All right, let's move on. Now, this next video is kind of funny, but it does bring some very strong points across. I want you to watch it intently. I want you to watch this guy on the phone. Then I want you to watch him bring in the closer and exactly what happens.
I'm really busy, sir.
No, look, I understand, Doctor. I'm really busy here myself. Look, we're going to come back to you in 1 month with one idea and one idea only. If you like what we have to say, great. We'll do business. If not, worst case scenario, you're going to get yourself a new business idea.
Whoever took that X-ray, it is useless.
We're going to part as friends. That's fair, right?
What?
So, Doc, are you working with $1 million in the market right now?
Who is this again?
And tell me something. You're a doctor. Have you ever heard of a drug called Benadryl? It's being manufactured by MSC Pharmaceuticals.
No.
Well, listen, okay? Listen, it's in the 3rd stage of FDA approval, all right? Word is it's going to be approved within the next 3 months. And it could be tomorrow for all I know. But, I'm getting ahead of myself, and you're real busy over there. So why don't I just send you out the information you requested about the firm?
No, wait. Forget the info. Let's talk about this now. What was the name of that drug again?
Can you hold on for 1 second? I'm going to get a senior broker who's a little more familiar with that particular stock, all right? Hold on a second, okay? 1 second. Rocco! Okay, so his name's Dr. Jacobson, and I take from the sound of it, he's definitely...
Well, I don't want to hear it, kid.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Jacobs. This is Chris Marlin over at JT Marlin. Marlin?
Right, he's my father.
So my associate told me you're interested in one of our stocks.
I will call her bank. Yes, MSC sounds like it might be interesting.
Might be? Might be doesn't sell stock at the rate MSC is going for it, Dr. Jacobs. We're talking very high volume here.
Oh, well, I still have to run it by my people.
That's great, Doc, if you want to miss yet another opportunity here and watch your colleagues get rich doing clinical trials, then don't buy a share and hang up the phone.
Well, hold on a second now. I didn't say that. I just want to talk about it more.
Honestly, Doc, I don't have the time. This stock is blowing up right now. The whole firm's going nuts. Hold on. Let me open up the door to my office. See that, Doc? That's my trading floor. Now I have 1 million calls to make to 1 million other doctors who are already in the know.
I can't walk you through this right now.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's do this.
Now, since you're a new account, I cannot go any higher than 2,000 shares. I'm sorry.
2,000?
Are you nuts? That is way beyond what I was thinking.
2,000?
Jesus! Listen, I'm curious. Why can't you
Tell me any more than that.
Well, we like to establish a relationship with our clients on something small before we get to the more serious trades. Let me show you several percentage points on this small trade, and then we'll talk about doing future business.
That sounds good. Give me the 2,000 shares.
Done.
You sure you can't do any better on this one?
I'm sorry, Dr. Jacobs. I can. I'm sorry.
No, all right. We'll start with this trade then.
Great. I promise we'll swing for the fences on the next one. Do you want that confirmation sent to your office or your mansion?
Very funny, Mr. Marlin.
Let me put my secretary on, and she'll take down your info. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Done and done.
Okay, that is just classic. A little deception, but I think you get the message. There's so many good parts to that it would take, I could talk about that particular video for an hour. Let's condense it. Somebody had to do the dialing to get the person that might be interested. When he finally triggered something that got the doctor's attention, because he wasn't paying any attention to him at all at first, but then he hit him where it hurt with the name of a new drug. And all of a sudden, the doctor woke up and realized that this was something that could be very big. That's the type of opening statement that you need to find to get in the door or past the secretary or to the person that's going to make the decision. You've got to say something that gets their attention. Once he got their attention, they had it all set up that somebody else was going to close them. If I said in this, you can use it as B2B training as well as regular, doing live dial calls. This would be where you say, let me get the person that's teaching me the business on the line, if you were doing live dials, and you'd three-way the call in. In this situation, if you're brand new and you're working closely with your mentor and they're teaching you how to do B2B, you might want to fabricate the same thing, where you say, let me get the person that's an expert on the call about this, and you'd three-way your mentor in. Big impression there. Big impression. You notice the takeaway. You notice how, I don't want to say the person was set up, but let's face it, that's how it was in this video. They were set up to get the information. They got the information. He told him up front that he couldn't do more than 2,000 shares, and at first he was awestruck that he'd even mentioned 2,000 shares. You might use that to get the level 1 or the level 2 package, but not the platinum to begin with. That way you've got something to go back for. And that's just what he was doing in this instance. He was creating a customer down the road. He was closing him on a deal right now, so maybe it would be he'd close him on the level 1 package. But then you've got 2 more opportunities with Coastal to be able to go back and say, if you liked that, you really have to look at this. So, great training from that video. I found it to be absolutely amazing. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of it. Now, the next thing that I'm going to go through with you is everybody's always talking about how do you handle this objection? How do you handle that objection? So I found an expert to give you some of those answers. And they're all done on video. And I want to tell you, first of all, that we're not affiliated with this company, not myself, not Coastal in any way, shape, or form. But with that being said, there's a lot of good information to be obtained here. I'm going to take you to the website where I got these from, okay? Let's go there right now because I want to play the intro video for you because it's pretty cool. So let's do that.
In offices around the globe, the phones are playing a dangerous game, and the sales force must fight to survive. Call after call, their voices are rejected and silenced, tearing at the fabric of their very being. But just when all hope was lost, one woman fought back. With great courage, she empowered them and gave them tools for a lifetime of conquering the phone. In this inspiring story of success, a team works together to take on the impossible. They learn new skills and fill their pipelines with new opportunities. Double the appointments, increase callbacks, victory over the phone. How are you going to fill the pipeline? Blitzmasters. To engage in an epic experience for your sales team, contact us today.
All right, now when you get to this website, folks, and you just saw the address, it's www.blitzmasters.com. One of the things I want to point out to you is up here, the free resources. Make sure you check that out. There's some phenomenal things here for you to do. If you sign up, you can get the free sales tips newsletter. You can go over here for the video tip of the day, which those are really good. And then there's some files down here. How to focus on consulting projects you'll enjoy using the fear and doubt technique with clients. You can go down through those. Each one of them is a file there for you that you can download. They're absolutely free. So if nothing else, go there and get that information. Freebies are good. I never found anything that I did not like about the word free, okay? And those are all totally free for you. Let me go back here. Get back to where we need to be. Obviously, that's the wrong screen. And let's try this one more time. Okay. Now, pay close attention to this AHA formula. This is going to make a lot of sense to you. Please take notes on this. This is some very, very valuable information.
Welcome to another session of Coffee Coaching. I'm Andrea Sittig-Rolf, Chief Blitzmaster and CEO of Sittig Incorporated and creator of the Blitz Experience. While it's important to do the numbers because sales is a numbers game, you can improve your numbers and success ratios by improving your skills around prospecting phone calls. The most important skill you can learn to help improve your success ratios when making prospecting phone calls is to learn how to overcome the common objections you will hear when asking for the first appointment with a new prospect. I've developed the AHA formula, a formula that works extremely well for overcoming common objections you'll expect to hear when calling new prospects for the first time. The AHA formula is simply to anticipate the objection, handle the objection, and ask for the appointment. AHA! The first key to success when using the AHA formula is to anticipate or expect that you will get an objection to your request for an appointment. If you anticipate that you will hear an objection, you're ready for it and prepared to handle it. If you don't anticipate the objection, you'll be thrown by it and probably stumble and say, "Okay, thanks for your time," and hang up the phone, only to make the next call and go through the same thing all over again. Instead, after you've asked for the appointment, get ready to hear no in some shape or form. Prepare in advance the way you will handle it when someone says no to your request for an appointment. Here are some suggestions on how to do that. You know, Mr. Prospect, that's exactly what ABC Company said until they realized we could decrease their IT spend by 25%. That's exactly why we should meet in person so I can learn more about your company to determine if there's a fit for my services. My services will actually complement what you're already doing. Now that you've handled the objection, it's crucial you do the final part of the AHA formula, and that is ask for the appointment. Immediately following your response to the objection, ask for the appointment by saying something like, "How's Thursday at 10:15? Be specific when you ask for the appointment rather than giving a choice such as, "How's Tuesday morning or Thursday afternoon?" I recommend this for a couple of reasons. One, you want to make it as easy as possible for your prospect to decide when he or she can meet with you. By offering several options, it complicates the process by requiring your prospect to look in different spots on their calendar. Also, asking for a specific date and time lets the prospect know that you're busy too and that Thursday at 10:15 works in your calendar. If the prospect says, "No, that doesn't work for me," then all you're talking about is what time and date will work to meet for an appointment rather than if you should meet at all. Let's put it all together. After you've asked for your appointment, your prospect says no, you've anticipated the objection, and you're ready for it. Now, handle the objection. You know, Mr. Prospect, that's exactly what ABC Company said until they realized we could decrease their IT spend by 25%. Now ask for the appointment. Why don't we just get together Thursday at 10:15? Notice the AHA formula. Anticipate the objection. Handle the objection. Ask for the appointment. Here are some additional tips. Don't overcome more than 3 objections per call. If the prospect gives you 3 objections, use the AHA formula to overcome them all. However, after the 4th objection, thank them for their time and hang up. You don't want to argue with the prospect because, after all, sometimes the answer really is no. Should a prospect ask you to call back at another time to set the appointment, try this. Why don't we tentatively put something on the calendar now, and I'll call you back to confirm. How's Thursday at 10:15? Studies show that once an appointment is on the calendar, even if it's tentative, there's a 70% greater likelihood it will occur. So if you can get your prospect to put you on the calendar, there's a good chance the appointment will happen. The chances of your getting that prospect back on the phone again at a later time is slim to none. Try the AHA formula the next time you're prospecting for new business over the phone. You'll not only increase your telephone prospecting skills and set more appointments, you'll ultimately win more customers and close more sales. Thanks for watching. Join us again for another session of Coffee Coaching.
All right. Awesome. All right, now the one that we all fear the most, no money objection. I love how she handles this.
Welcome to another edition of Coffee Coaching. I'm Andrea Sittig-Rolf, Chief Blitzmaster and CEO of Sittig Incorporated and creator of the Blitz Experience. One of the common objections you might hear when prospecting for appointments is, "We don't have any money to buy anything right now," or "It's just not in the budget." During one of my Blitz Experience role-play exercises, I used the objection, "I don't have any money," with a salesperson. I loved his response. He said to me, well, neither do I. That's exactly why I'm calling you. He said he actually uses this technique, and it works because most of the time he gets to the prospect and he gets them to laugh, thus letting his guard down, allowing the salesperson to get the appointment. A more serious way to handle this objection might sound like this, although it's not too serious. Prospect. Well, that's just not in our budget right now. Well, in that case, now is the perfect time to meet before you've even been in the market for a program like ours, so we can take time to learn more about your organization and how our program will be a benefit. Why don't I just come by at 10:15 on Thursday so I can learn more about your sales team and share more about how our Blitz program has doubled the number of appointments a typical sales force will schedule in one day? Prospect. Okay, see you then. Another way to handle the we don't have any money objection goes like this. Prospect. We don't have any money. Actually, we have several payment plans that make our sales training programs quite affordable. Also, we found that most clients sell upwards of $100,000 in products and services as a direct result of the appointments they schedule during the Blitz training. Why don't I come by next Tuesday at 2:15 and I'll share some of the amazing results our clients have had in participating in the Blitz experience? Prospect. Okay. With the we have no money objection, there are many ways you can go. You can discuss payment plans, leasing options, no money down, 90-day payment, and other terms that make your solution more appealing to your prospect. Your willingness to work with them and their budget will increase your chances of getting the appointment and ultimately getting the sale. Also, if you're able to show how your solution actually increases your client's profitability, you'll be more likely to get the appointment and get the sale. Prospects aren't as impressed with you saying just saving them money or making them more productive because they've heard that all before. If you can prove your solution will increase their revenue or profitability, you'll have their attention. Thanks for watching. Join us again for another session of Coffee Coaching.
Okay, this is another one we all hear. I'm not in the market, or you've got 30 seconds. Okay? Listen to how she handles this.
Welcome to another session of Coffee Coaching. I'm Andrea Sittig-Rolfe, Chief Blitzmaster and CEO of Sittig Incorporated. Two common objections heard when prospecting for appointments are, just give me the 30-second version of your presentation, and we're not in the market right now. When you hear, just give me the 30-second version of your presentation, handle it this way. I'd be doing a great disservice to you to try to do that, which is exactly why we should get together. How's Friday at noon for lunch? When you hear, we're not in the market right now, handle it like this. Great, now is actually the best time to meet before you're in the market, so you can take your time to learn about the best solution for your company, and so I can help you determine the best solution based on your specific needs. How's Tuesday at 3:15? Thanks for watching. Join us for another session of Coffee Coaching.
Very simple, yet very effective. That's what I like about it. The old status quo objection.
Welcome to another session of Coffee Coaching. I'm Andrea Sittig-Rolfe, Chief Blitzmaster and CEO of Sittig Incorporated and creator of the Blitz Experience. I've created a formula for handling objections known as the AHA formula. Anticipate the objection, handle the objection, and ask for the appointment. No thanks, I'm happy with what I have is one of the common objections you'll hear when making phone calls to schedule appointments with qualified decision makers. Also known as status quo, this is probably the most difficult objection to overcome because people don't want to change unless there's a compelling reason to do so. The key to handling this particular objection is to describe how your product or service complements, enhances, or supplements what the prospect is already doing. In other words, Don't put yourself in the position of competing with the prospect's current vendor and possibly insulting the prospect's earlier decision to go with your competitor. Instead, your solution will actually enhance what they're already doing. This works so well because now the prospect doesn't have to choose one or the other, but can instead have both. The former decision they made regarding the same products and services you offer can simply be enhanced by what you provide. By using this technique, you're actually reinforcing what the prospect is already doing by showing that your solution will fit into their particular plan. You can also try the tactic of, we don't mind being second, which indicates your interest in having at least some of their business, if not all of it. This tactic in overcoming the I'm happy now objection works well in my business of sales training. Often the prospects I call are already doing something in regards to sales training, but because of the appointment setting techniques training I do, my Blitz Experience program often complements or reinforces other training programs the prospect might already have in place. To understand the practicality of this technique, the example that I'll share demonstrates exactly how this technique can be used. Hi, Mr. Prospect. My name's Andrea Sittig-Rolf, and I'm the creator of the Blitz Experience, an activity-based new business development program that empowers salespeople to fill the pipeline with new opportunities in just one day. The reason for my call today is to schedule an appointment to learn more about your organization so we can determine whether there's an opportunity for us to work together. How's Thursday at 10:15 work for you? Prospect. We're all set with sales training this year. In fact, we just signed up for a program yesterday. That's great. May I ask what kind of program it is? Prospect. Sure, it's sales process training and it's conducted by XYZ company. Well, that's actually perfect because the Blitz Experience will enhance that program beautifully by focusing on the very first phase of the sales process, setting the appointment. Why don't I just come by Thursday at 10:15 to learn more about your company and your new sales training program so we can determine whether the Blitz Experience will enhance what you're already doing? Prospect. Okay. Thanks for watching. Join us for another session of Coffee Coaching.
That is one of the hardest ones to overcome, folks. And I think if you try that, as I'm going to, it just might work for us. Here's one I'm sure that we've heard. What if we're doing live dials or business to business? They had a bad experience objection. I like the way she handles this.
Welcome to another edition of Coffee Coaching. I'm Andrea Sittig-Rolf, Chief Blitzmaster and CEO of Sittig Incorporated and creator of the Blitz Experience. On the rare occasion when prospecting for appointments, you might hear the objection, I once had a bad experience with your company. If you hear this particular objection, the way to handle it is to first empathize with the prospect and then talk about how your company has changed since their bad experience. Now, if their bad experience was yesterday, you're in big trouble because your company did not change overnight. However, if their bad experience was several years ago, chances are your company has changed since then, and that's the very reason you should meet, to remedy their bad experience and learn more about what you might do and how you can help them in the future. Here's how this might sound. Prospect. We once had a bad experience with your company a few years back. I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, we've actually changed quite a bit since then. Why don't I just come by next Thursday at 10:15 to learn more about your company and discuss how we've changed in a way that might be of benefit to you? Another reason the prospect may have had a bad experience with your company is that he or she was mistreated by the salesperson that he or she was working with at the time. If that salesperson is no longer with the company, that's the perfect reason to meet so you can make up for whatever the original salesperson did wrong at the time. Here's how that would go. Prospect. Well, we worked with a salesperson from your firm years ago who did a terrible job for us. I'm really sorry to hear that. That person is no longer with our company, which is exactly why we should meet. How does Friday at 2:15 work for you? Thanks for watching. Join us again for another session of Coffee Coaching.
A couple more we need to get through here. Running out of time, as always. I'm not interested, objection.
Welcome to another session of Coffee Coaching. I'm Andrea Sittig-Rolfe, Chief Blitzmaster and CEO of Sittig Incorporated and creator of the Blitz Experience. The key to handling the I'm not interested objection is to describe the result your solution provides and, more specifically, the result your solution has provided someone else, like another customer. Here's what I say when I have anticipated the objection and the prospect tells me he's not interested. You know, Mr. Prospect, that's exactly what many of my customers said before they understood that the Blitz Experience would actually double the number of appointments with qualified prospects with their salespeople as a result of the skills and techniques taught and practiced during the Blitz. Why don't I just come by at 3:15 next Tuesday so I can share with you some actual results other customers have enjoyed by participating in our Blitz Experience. Notice here I explained a typical result my customers have had from the Blitz Experience. I said, you know, Mr. Prospect, that's what many of my customers said before they understood that the Blitz Experience would actually double the number of appointments with qualified prospects that their salespeople were able to set as a result of the skills and techniques taught and practiced during the Blitz. Offering a sales training program that can double the number of appointments typically set for a sales team is a compelling argument when talking to a new prospect for the first time. By immediately explaining a compelling result, I'm more likely to get the appointment. Thanks for watching. Join us again for another session of Coffee Coaching.
Okay, the I'm too busy objection.
Welcome to another session of Coffee Coaching. I'm Andrea Sittig-Rolfe, Chief Blitzmaster and CEO of Sittig Incorporated and creator of the Blitz Experience. One of the common objections heard when prospecting for appointments is, I'm too busy. The beauty of this objection is that you don't want to talk to them now anyway. You want to set the appointment to talk in person. If they're too busy to talk, that's the very reason to set an appointment so you can talk face-to-face when they're less busy and have scheduled you in their calendar. Another technique that works well here is if they're too busy to talk and they ask you to call back to schedule the appointment, suggest that you tentatively schedule an appointment now and that you call back to confirm. Microsoft conducted a study that showed there's a 70% greater chance an activity will happen if it's scheduled in the calendar. So in our scenario, there's a 70% greater likelihood the prospect will honor the appointment and meet with you if you can get him or her to put you in their calendar. With multiple objections given on this particular call, it might go something like this. Prospect: Andrea, you've caught me at a time when I'm just too busy to talk. Okay, well then rather than talking now, why don't I just come by next Thursday at 11:15? Prospect: why don't you just call me back to schedule an appointment? I'd be happy to, but why don't we go ahead and tentatively get it on the calendar now, and I'll call back to confirm. Prospect: okay, what did you say, next Thursday at 11:15? See you then. Thanks for watching. Join us for another session of Coffee Coaching.
I've got a few others here, folks, but we're at the top of the hour. We'll have to continue this at another time. If you liked the training tonight, please send an email in to coastal@coanetwork.com. Again, coastal@coanetwork.com. Let us know what we could do better. Let us know what you like.